Hey uglies, welcome to my bite-sized world. Today we're going to be taking a look at Manor Lords, a game that I have literally become obsessed with. We're going to take a look at actually modding Manor Lords because I know a lot of people have a trouble with modding or they just don't know how to mod the game, but I'm going to show you how. Once you learn this, it'll make modding any game pretty easy. I'm going to show you how to install these mods manually so that you don't have to use a mod loader or anything like that. You'll be doing everything yourself. That way, if you want to remove something or add something or do something different, you'll have your own options to do so. You won't have to rely on a mod loader to tell you whether or not it's updated or anything. It'll tell you itself on the game. I don't like mod loaders, so I don't use them. I do everything manually because it actually helps me learn how to mod other games from just doing one game. So because I modded Manor Lords, I knew how to mod Red Dead. You know, it just works that way. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to actually head over to Nexus Mods. So you want to open your browser and go to the Nexus Mods websites. If you don't have it bookmarked, that's fine. I do. I'm on this site 24/7. I live here. But after you get to the Nexus Mods websites, you're going to want to search for the game Manor Lords. Now, you can have it two ways. You see, for me, I have it under my favorites. But if you don't have it under your favorites, you can easily just click the drop down, click on games, type in Manor Lords, and then hit enter and it'll pop up. And then you just want to click on that. Once you click on the Manor Lords picture to take you to the mods, it'll bring you to this front page, which will show you the showcase of what's popular, what's being downloaded. I just click on view all mods. That way I can see everything and not just what people are using. So after you click on that, you want to go to page 2. And the first thing you want to download is the UE4SS mod loader mod. This isn't an app where you'll have to put things into it to load mods. It just lets the game know to load these mods. So once you're at that page, you can actually click on files and then it'll take you to the page that has all of the download files. And the one you want is the first one on top. Then you'll have to click that manual download and then it'll take you to a download page and you just click slow download and it'll actually download for you. So once you have that downloaded, you can come back to the main page of the mod, which will be the description, and usually they have things on how to install the mods on the pages. Some do and some don't, but you'll be able to tell which might go where based off the requirements. So since we're gonna do this manually, I'll be using the Steam version. If you have Xbox Game Pass version, you can do it too. It has the instructions on the page. So first, you're gonna open your file explorer and go to downloads. Now, if you don't have WinRAR downloaded, you can go to the WinRAR website and simply download it. It's free. I never paid for it and I've been using it for years. You can just go to Google and type in WinRAR and it'll take you to the website, which is always the first link, and you can download and install that before we actually start installing mods. Just hit the blue download button and install it. So once you have WinRAR installed, we can move on to actually installing the first mod. This is a very important mod to have. You need this mod to make a lot of other mods load in the game. So first thing you want to do is right click it and click extract files. Now this is if you're used to doing this. I'll actually show you guys another way as well. Once this little pop-up opens, you want to go to where you have your Manor Lords games installed and then click on Steam Library, Steam Apps, Manor Lords, and then Manor Lords again. Just follow the on-screen directions, or you can follow me as I do it. I'm going to actually show you how to do it without doing it as an extraction, because I feel like doing it this way is for people who have been doing this for a while and you might be new. So I'm going to show you how to do it in Windows. And we're going to actually do this the way that I personally prefer it. So what I do is I double click on the RAR file, and then I set it to the side, and then I go inside of my Windows Explorer, and I go to where my Manor Lords is installed. So Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, Manor Lords, the Manor Lords again. Then you want to go to your binaries folder, and you want the Win64 folder. What you do here is you copy all of the UE4SS folder and put it directly into the Win64 folder. It should look exactly how mine's look. Just copy both and put them right inside there. Inside of the UE4SS folder is a mods folder, and that's where some mods go, but not all. And so now let's actually install a mod. So what you want to do is go back to the Nexus page where you were before. I just used the back button because it was simple, because I was already on page 2. But you want to go to page 3, and it might not be page 3 for you if you're looking at this at a later time. And you want to look for a mod called Manor Lords Console Commands. Now this mod has made a lot of other mods obsolete for me. Like, I don't need a start mod. I don't need anything that gives me more resources or anything like that. I can literally just type in one command and it's pretty much done. Now you can see this has a requirements tab, and it requires the UE4SS mod, which means this mod has to be installed inside of that folder. So once you go to your files tab, you click on manual download. Remember, always manual download. So once you have that downloaded, you'll go to your downloads folder, and we'll install it in the same place we installed your UE4SS mod. But instead of dragging it into the Windows 64 folder, you want to double click on the UE4SS folder and then the mods folder inside of that. You want to put your console commands folder inside of this mod folder. This is where things like console commands and start reses and some other mods go. But I don't use them anymore ever since I got the console commands, because console commands for me is an absolute game changer. I'm also going to show you another way to install mods with the increased storage mods. One of the best mods, if not, I might say one of the most useful mods. It increases storage of literally everything in the game, and it makes my life so much easier. But as you can see, this doesn't have any requirements, and it doesn't need the UE4SS mod. So what you do is you click files, do your manual download, and it will come in your downloads folder. And instead of putting this in your UE4SS mods folder, you will actually have to create your own mod folder for this mod, which is simple because it goes in kind of the same place, just a different folder. So you can just go to your file where your game is. I'll show you how to get there again. You go to where your game is installed, Steam Apps, Common, Manor Lords, Manor Lords again. And then you want to put it in your content folder. These mods go in your content folder. So you double click content, and then you double click packs, and this is where you'll make your mod folder. Make sure that it has that little squiggly line in front of it and no capital letters. Once you have this folder made, you can take your increased storage mod and place it into this folder. You can either double click on it and open it and drag it into this folder, or if you want to do it the way I showed you, where you right click it and extract files, if you're okay with doing it that way. Once you have these two installed, we can actually test out if one of the mod works. If one mod doesn't work, it will tell you when you launch your game that there's a corrupt file, and it will not open your game. It will automatically close the game. So if you install something that's not updated, it'll just basically like tell you, hey, don't do that. This isn't working. Stop that. So if you want to go ahead and start installing different mods before we actually test it, that's fine with me. Just make sure you look at the requirements tab. If it requires UE4SS, it goes inside of the Win64 UE4SS folder. If it doesn't, it goes inside of the Content Packs mod folder. Just always remember that. So now, let's test this game. I know all this might be confusing at first, but it gets super easy, like super easy. But as a side note, before you even start to play the game, before you even test it, I want you to go back to the console commands mod page. You want to scroll all the way down, and there'll be a link of all the console commands of the game. You can scroll this and it'll actually have all of the commands, like all of the ones you'll ever want. Things like treasury or development points, king's favor, sausages, clothing, yarn, anything. Any kind of command that you want, it'll be there. So what I'm going to actually do is start with treasury, just so I can show you guys how these values work. So as you see on the site, it has the name and then it says amount at the end. You actually do not need to put the word amount. So it'll be something like, since we're using treasury, it'll be something like k.set treasury, and then you'll just add numbers. You don't actually have to have the word amount. I'll actually show you in the game. So once we get this up and running, I'm gonna show you. Make sure you copy and paste the one you want to test out also. Now, to my understanding, you don't need a new game for this. It should work in any of your save games. But just for canon, I'm gonna use a new game. I don't really care about, what the person looks like or anything like that. This is just for testing purposes only. I started a new village and it's nowhere near ready to be shown. So we're gonna do a new one. So like I said, I just left my girl as she is and I just started a game. I didn't mess with any options or anything. If you want to, you can, but just for this video's purpose, I didn't do anything. So once your game is loaded, that ugly message always pops up and I just always get rid of it. I wish once it popped up for the first time you play it, don't have to anymore. But once you get to this part of the game, you can either pause it or not, and then you want to press F8. If F8 doesn't work, it's F10. Now once you press F8 or F10, if this little black box on the bottom pops up, that's how you know your mods are working. And what you want to do is you want to press Control V if you copied one of the mods from the mod page that showed all the commands. Like I said, I did treasury, so I put mine as copy V, it shows the treasury, and I'm gonna add 50,000. Now you see it popped up that my treasury has just earned 50,000 and I have 50,000 coins. They do not go away. They stay, and it just adds up. If somebody else gives me treasury, it just adds on to what I just added there. You don't have to add 50,000, but this was just for an example. And as far as like increased storage or production overhaul, the increased storage shows up once you put down a granary or a storehouse and you actually upgrade it. So what I usually do for that is I'll use the F8 menu and add 20 or 30 pieces of plank and then just automatically update my storehouses so that it has the max value, and then I'm good to go. The console commands mod has been one of the best mods out there for me, period. It has totally changed the game for me because it made it easier for me to actually learn how to play the game without having to worry about fucking up, if I may say so. I don't have to worry about the king getting all of the mercenaries before I have a chance to even see what that's like, because that happened to me when I first started this game. And then things like starving and stuff like that becomes obsolete. There's a lot of things you can do with the console commands. You can add families, you can take them away, you can get territory, development points, Anything you want, this mod can do it. And if you got this far and you opened your game and it actually loaded, that's how you know all your mods are working. I know for now a lot of the portrait mods are out of date and don't work, and they will crash your game. But if you want a coat of arms or a different portrait, I know you can do that yourself. But I hope you find this video helpful. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss any of our content. Stay blessed.